Good morning, world. Cedric's a little on edge today.
Are we losing our damn minds? I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian, and this is Cedric and Brian. All right, we're back. You okay?
Not really, man. I'm tired. Tired of all the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, well, today we're going to talk about cancellations. Cancellations of English words, of course, cancellations of actors, actresses, and then finally, cancellation of historic monuments. But first, did you hear about the real estate, the realtors in Texas?
Yeah, for those you don't know what we're talking about using the word master in the real estate lingo.
Yeah, we can no longer say master bedroom, at least in one county in Texas, because that is offensive, I guess. I've never thought of saying master bedroom as being offensive, but again, I'm not a person of color.
Right.
Although I am pretty tan right now.
You are getting pretty tan. Very tan.
We compared, and I'm almost as dark as his butt.
They don't need to know all that. Wow. Yeah, I did a little research on the word master. I guess it was first used in a Sears catalog. For those of you who are Gen Xers or baby boomers, you remember the old Sears catalog that you would get every Christmas and circle what you wanted from your mom and dad. I guess it was first used in a Sears catalog back in 1926.
Master bedroom?
Master bedroom, because it was to describe a duchess's primary room that she resided in. Huh. And it took off from there. Hey, Brian, did you hear about that asinine stuff that's going on in Texas with the real estate group?
You mean this? Master bedroom is officially canceled?
What else is going to be canceled with the word master in it? We have a list for you.
Masterpiece Theater.
Toastmaster.
Scoutmaster.
Headmaster.
Did you just say headmaster?
I did.
How about masturbation?
Ringmaster.
Webmaster.
Mastermind.
Quizmaster.
Postmaster.
Masterful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting ridiculous now. We're just canceling everything. We're canceling monuments. We're canceling history. We're canceling words. We're changing everything about. When is the madness going to stop? It has to stop. I mean, I can understand a little bit that the word is derived from slave times, but it wasn't.
Well, it's not derived from there. The word preceded that.
Right.
And I know it was used that, but there was a lot of terms that were used during slavery.
Right.
But the word master is just an English. It's just a word in the English language that's
the head.
The head.
Yeah. It's where the parents usually sleep. Whoever the owner of the house is sleeps in the master bedroom.
I'm a golfer. Are they going to have to change the tournament, the Masters tournament?
The Masters. In
martial arts, you have the Sifu Master.
Yeah.
So I think they use the term a lot in the old Bruce Lee's movie.
Right.
Right.
But the guy, I think when I heard it, they're not going to do it worldwide. The NAR, the National Association of Realtors, they're not making it a mandate that it has to be done with all realtors. It's just that certain group in Texas, they've decided to avoid that word and use the word primary. The primary bedroom.
Don't you think that's silly?
I think it's silly.
What do you think? I mean, come on, master bedroom, really? So, anyways, that's number one on. If you hadn't heard that, that word has been canceled in some parts of the country.
Yes.
So, then next on the agenda, actors and actresses. Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of that over the years now with actors who have done things in the past. We'll go back 20 years and apologize for something that they did or said. Usually comedians who, God forbid, a comedian says something off color. I mean, that used to be what comedy was.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
Kevin Hart and Jimmy Fallon have both taken the heat for that.
Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously, Kevin Hart's was for, I think, a homophobic thing.
Right.
Jimmy Kimmel's was he imitated Karl Malone and another actor back in the day. And in one skit, he actually dressed up like Karl Malone and darkened his skin.
Get to who Karl Malone is.
Karl Malone is a basketball player from back in the day. And he did a really good impersonation of him. And, of course, in today's PC or cancel culture, you cannot imitate people, apparently. Of course, White Chicks is okay, right?
The White Chicks was a great movie. I laughed at it.
Yeah.
But is it okay for two black men to imitate white girls? And that's funny and hilarious. But if Jimmy Kimmel does it, now it's offensive.
And that leads us to our next point. Because not only did they make their skin white, they were also portraying females, and they're not female.
Right.
But now we're getting into animation. So Kristen Bell, who I know most of you know, she voices a lot of cartoons. Famous one, didn't she do Frozen? I think.
I think she was in Frozen.
Yeah, but she does an animated series I had never heard of. What do you?
She plays a character called Molly,
Biracial, right?
a biracial character named Molly. I forget the name of the series. You wanna?
Yeah, I don't remember, but it doesn't really matter. The fact of the matter is she's an actress playing a part, and that part is biracial. Well, Kristen Bell said that it should only be played by a biracial person or a black person or a black woman. But then that begs the question of, if it's a biracial character, she's saying it's okay if it's played by a black female, but not a white female, but it's a biracial character.
Right.
So
Right.
You'll have to explain that. I don't know.
I can't really explain it. Kristen Bell, and it's really weird because Kristen Bell was preceded by Mike Henry, who, if you guys watched our 2 shows earlier, one of my guilty pleasures is the show Family Guy. And one of the characters on Family Guy is a black gentleman by the name of Cleveland Brown. If you didn't know this, the voice is done by a white man by the name of Mike Henry. Recently, Mike Henry has stepped down. And if you look at the reasons why Kristen Bell and Mike Henry stepped down, the reasons are very similar, which makes you think, okay, is this really coming from them? Or has it been scripted by their agent, scripted by Hollywood, that it's time for you guys to step aside because there's so much unrest going on? Because they both said that it is time for even animated black characters and their voices to be portrayed by black voices. Now, no one calls this thing. If you ever watched Family Guy, maybe Brian will show a clip for my amusement.
Your mother and I are finally having our anniversary dinner. Here, go see a movie. Nothing with boobs. And nothing with elves.
Mike Henry not only portrayed the black character Cleveland Brown, he also portrayed the maid, Consuela.
Oh, no, doggy out.
What?
Out, afuera.
I live here.
No, afuera.
But look, I'm trying.
Hola?
Yes, could you please put Brian back on?
No, doggy afuera.
In the Family Guy.
That sounds Hispanic.
She's Hispanic and female. But there was no uprising over that.
He shouldn't just. I think he should be arrested.
He should. And he also, in the spinoff from the Family Guy, the Cleveland Brown Show, the Cleveland Show, he also portrays Cleveland and his stepson, Rollo Tubbs, in that show as well. So he plays 2 black characters, one a young male, and he plays a young male, plays Cleveland Brown, and he plays the Hispanic maid.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
And
he was funny.
And I say that jokingly. It's not terrible. These are actors. They're playing a part. Cedric brought out a good point. We grew up with The Simpsons.
Yes. For those of you who don't know, The Simpsons, Nancy Cartwright. The Simpsons have been going strong for 20 years.
30 years.
30 years now?
I think since 1990.
Yeah. 30 years now. And those of you who don't know, Bart Simpson's voice is portrayed by Nancy Cartwright, a woman. Yeah. And she's been doing a great job. I mean, I think she's been nominated for a few Emmys, and no one caused a stink about that. And correct me if I'm wrong, and even in theater, this popped into my head. Usually when you go see Peter Pan or something,
Played by a female.
she's played by a female because of Peter Pan is a
supposed to stay as
young
boy.
boy, and the physical features and stuff is better portrayed by a female. No one ever had a problem with that. And then one of my favorite movies of all time, and you can't do it by now, but James Earl Jones. Great voice, a lot of resonance, a lot of tone to it. He was the voice of Darth Vader. And if you guys saw that classic scene when Darth Vader's finally unmasked, he's obviously a white guy, but he's being portrayed by James Earl Jones.
But he was wearing black.
He's wearing black armor, but if you take out his armor,
And a black mask.
he is a white guy. He was definitely a white guy.
People, this is so freaking silly. What is going on? I mean, these are actors. They're paid to play somebody else. They're not playing themselves.
Another one of my favorite shows, I'm in a roll here, Modern Family. You guys ever watch Modern Family? I believe Eric North Street. I'm going to get the name wrong. I've looked it up later. Eric North Street plays a gay character. He's not gay, but he plays that role so well, and he plays alongside Jesse Tyler Ferguson, who actually is gay. And Eric was nominated for certain Emmys for Modern Family because he did an incredible role. So now, since we're getting to this point now where in animation, a black person has to do the voice of a black character, are they going to say that a guy like Eric Street, who's a very accomplished actor, can no longer play a gay role? You have to find a gay actor to play a gay character?
Will and Grace. Will is not gay in real life, people.
He is not?
He is not. See, he didn't even know
I
that.
did not know that. But the other guy, Sean.
Jack is gay.
Sean
Yeah,
Parsons.
Sean. Yeah,
Parsons,
he
something like
is
that.
gay.
Yeah.
But the one who plays Will is not.
Did an incredible job. And that's what.
Oh wait, what about one of the great movies with Robin Williams, The Birdcage?
Oh yes.
Neither one of them, they both did a fabulous job, but I don't think either one of those actors was gay.
No, I don't think they were.
So the way you see where things are going, people. Actors now cannot play roles. So I guess straight people can only play straight, gay can only play gay, black can only play black. If you're biracial, what do you play? What if you're a light-skinned biracial and they want you to play a white part? Is that okay? Probably not. But if you're a dark-skinned biracial, you can play black. Or if you're black, you can play biracial, apparently, because that's what they talked about with Kristen Bell.
Right. And I'm not an actor, but it's like, I think that's what gets actors going to step out of their roles, step out of who they are, and play something else that they never played. And I think we're going to literally do a disservice to the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, and actors in general, because they can't do what they were trained to do in their passion.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And before we get off this topic, we'll leave it at this. The last character that I discovered was a gentleman named Phil Lamar, who's done voiceovers forever.
Yes.
One of the animation series he does is a samurai. He plays a samurai who the character looks, obviously samurai, Japanese.
Yeah.
Phil Lamar is black.
He plays an unarmed samurai warrior, and he does an incredible job. I mean, I looked it up on YouTube, and he sounds very authentic. He does a great job, and that's what actors do.
Yeah.
They make you believe that they are the character who they're portraying.
And he's not Japanese.
No.
So we've done Master Bedroom, canceled.
Cancel. Yeah.
Actors playing anything other than what their skin color or gender or sexual orientation is, canceled.
Right.
History is canceled, ladies and gentlemen. History is being canceled. In fact, some of them you've probably seen, and some of the things like getting rid of the Confederate flag, fine. I don't have a problem with that. I've never lived in the South. I'm not from the South. So that doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect Cedric. I don't know. Does that trigger you when you see the Confederate
No, it
flag?
doesn't. And that's one of those things where I'm trying to make a definite stand up, because I've heard arguments on both sides where I can see how the novelty and the nostalgia of the Confederate flag appeals to a lot of people, and I can see why the new flag appears to more people. Yeah. But it's like I don't have a preference either way.
Yeah, I don't. Getting rid of it doesn't bother me at all. If that offends somebody, because I would be offended having Jewish ancestry if I had to see the Nazi flag. So if that's what it is to them, seeing the Confederate flag, then yes, keep it in a museum so you can study history again so you don't repeat it. But they want to tear down the statue,
The Emancipation Proclamation.
the Emancipation Proclamation, and you have some history on that.
Well, yeah, that was back in, I think it was January 1st of 1863, and that was when President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing slaves. Now, you have to look at the history of that. There were only certain slaves that were freed, not the ones in the border states, but the ones that were actually involved in the Confederate states.
Right.
But
that got it started.
That got it started. Yeah. And so in 1867, now keep in mind, after slavery, been enslaved, and so a statue is constructed in their honor that was paid for by slaves and revered and excited about by the slaves. And they're excited about it.
And didn't Frederick Douglass speak at
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're just one of our TikToks. We showed that they're trying to get a group of people together to tear that monument down. And if we keep tearing down history and tearing down history,
it will happen again.
Right.
Talk to people, somebody who you think may not agree with you, or somebody you think doesn't agree with us, and find out if they are offended by George Washington. Really find out. Find a black person and ask them if they're offended by George Washington.
If you're looking for one to be perfect to represent you, you're not going to find them. Everyone's going to have some flaw, something in their history that you're not going to like.
We're human.
We're human.
There's no perfect.
Yeah, there's no perfect people out there.
There's certain people trying to build a utopia. It cannot happen.
It's not going to happen.
You're not going to find a perfect person. Everybody has a flaw. Look inside yourself. Look inside yourself and ask yourself if you've ever said or thought a bad thing. We all have. That's just human nature.
Some of you thinking bad things about us right now.
Exactly. And what you can't do is, and I heard this, right now we like steak. We had steak the other night. Who knows, in another 100 years, that might be looked at as, oh my God, we're terrible people. We ate steak. But they may look back and say, everybody who actually did that was horrible to animals. How can you actually say that those people, how can you watch Cedric and Brian? And that might be an exaggeration, but that's what we're doing. We're trying to look back in time. I have Swedish in me. The Swedes and the Vikings were horrible, horrible human beings. Mm-hmm. They went and they basically murdered most of the people that they came across in England as they came across. And as you go to new lands, people got wiped out. Even in this country, we know about our past. But you can't go back and then cancel somebody back then. Like we mentioned last time, you can't go back to the Colosseum and tear down the Colosseum in Rome because they used to torture people and feed them to lions.
Right.
So
it's ridiculous. It's got to stop soon. It's got to stop.
What is your message to Black Lives Matter protesters who are demanding to tear this down, and they are basically in a way...
I say the Black Lives Matter people are full of shit. And the reason I say they're full of shit, because their money ain't saying Black Lives Matter. You coming out here, you want to tear down statues, but how much of this black history of DC do you really know? If Black lives really matter. You know, how much of this history have you tried to learn about Washington, D.C.? Because we got black history that's dying on the vine, sir. The Black Lives Matter people are full of shit.
okay, so those are the three cancellations we had. Now we have some. Let's shake our heads. Shake your head. So you can look at this a number of ways.
Like I said in the opening, it's a damn shame.
There's a county in Oregon,
Lincoln County,
that depending on how you look at it, they either really care about black people or they want to see them die.
They're in the classic damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. If you guys haven't heard about it, they've passed this mandate that people, they call them POC, people of color.
Okay, before you go on, I remember when I was really small and you watch TV, they used to use the term colored people. In fact, Martin Luther King used the term Negro.
Right.
So obviously we changed the vernacular, and if you still use old vernacular, you're called a racist.
Right.
So the new vernacular seems to be POC, people of color or person of color.
Right.
But then I heard a guy on YouTube say that's just another way of saying colored people.
Colored people.
People of color, colored people.
You just put the words in.
Which I was told, that's in the 80s and 90s, that was a very derogatory term, right?
Right.
So
That's
why
very
is people of color the new term?
I don't know, because you put the noun in front of the verb, and or the verb was in front of the noun, so now it's okay.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a person of no color.
No. Oh, you're looking kind of red right about
I
now.
know, I am red. I'm getting worked up. So go ahead, talk to them about Lincoln County.
I have to write some notes down.
Which they'll probably have to change the name, because didn't they just change another town?
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later. But they just passed this mandate that the people of color don't have to wear masks, because people of color, I'm going to say black people, I can't say it anymore, because black people are more likely to be viewed by the cops to commit a crime or to do wrong.
If they're wearing a mask?
If they're wearing a mask. If you put a mask on them, that profiling escalates to a level that they can't handle. So now they don't have to wear masks. But here's the thing, and it says it here, quote, people of color who have heightened concerns about racial profiling and harassment due to wearing face coverings in public. Now, the county office was getting flooded with phone calls. Phone calls are coming in left and right. And it said the phone calls fell into one of two categories. Category number one, they're being racist against white people now because the white people have to wear masks and the black people don't have to wear masks. So now we're going to reverse everything. Which reverse racism is not a term we talked about before. It's just racism. But now the white people are feeling marginalized because they don't have to wear masks. Number two, the black people are saying, why are you participating in a genocide plot to kill all people of color? So telling them you don't have to wear the mask.
So you can get COVID, basically.
Get COVID,
Yeah.
but they're telling the black people don't wear the mask, so we're trying to systematically wipe you out.
So
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing.
I went back on the site. They took that mandate off because of those people calling in on both sides. Said, yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea. You think?
Damned if you do and damned if you don't. It's a damn shame. That's gonna be my new tagline. That's gonna be my new tagline, I think. I'm just gonna just randomly say that. It's a damn shame.
There you have it, people.
Damn. That's a favorite line from Florida Evans in Good Times. Damn. I kind of like saying it. It's kind of refreshing to say it.
Before we go, a couple things. And I'm going to leave you with something funny at the end, but something not funny, I guess. Depends. I mean, if you watch Dave Chappelle, he thought the whole Jesse Smollett, was that his name?
He calls him Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett. So he made a joke out of that because obviously, for those of you who don't know, and this is old news, but he said that he was attacked by a bunch of Trump supporters, ended up being some African guys that he paid money to beat him so that it would look like a racist crime. Well, I'm not saying this is on the same thing. We don't know if anybody paid anybody to do this.
Right.
But Bubba Wallace, who is a NASCAR driver, and he's a person of color, if we're going to use the right
Black
thing.
person.
Yeah. He doesn't really look black, though. Does he? Anyway.
It's a damn shame.
So anyways, he didn't even find it. Some of his people found a noose.
You can't say his people.
Sorry. Some of his
Members of his team.
Members of his team.
Okay.
Members of his team. When I say his people, I didn't mean
you can't say
black
that.
people.
Right.
I just meant members of his
That's
team.
why I'm here.
Thank you for.
I got you.
I don't want to be. I'll be called a racist, I'm sure. Found what they believed to be a noose. Of course, they did a thorough investigation by the FBI. Found out it was a garage pool that had been there way before they even assigned garages to the races for this at Talladega, right? And then even after that, though, society as a whole right now still wanted to give love to Bubba just in case he couldn't come back from that horrible racist symbology.
So that whole contingency of people walk out with his car to the starting line.
Of course, as we said,
sign of
it
solidarity.
wasn't, like we said last week in our video, with the nooses, exercise equipment hanging from the trees. This, again, was not a racist thing. Fully vetted, but we'll just go with that.
You know what I have to say? It's a damn shame.
If you like that, tell us. If you don't want him to say that ever again, please.
I'm staying with it. It makes me feel good. I love saying it.
One of our first videos, you said we're a lot more alike than we are different. I think that's a much better thing.
It is, but I need more than one tag phrase.
All right.
I'm gonna go with that one too.
Dynamite! No?
Well, I need to edit that out. That is, you can't say that.
I can't say that?
I can say it.
Again, I guess that's a word. Dynamite was used in mines, but I guess
it was J.J. Evans' catchphrase in Good Times.
I know,
You can't say it.
I know.
Okay. If you guys are watching this video, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell. And I want to take the time to thank a lot of you. We've gotten some serious traction the last week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, because of our TikTok. Check out our TikTok.
Like our TikTok, but a lot of you are just checking in. And we're not professionals. We're just two guys that, like you guys, watch the news, right? Like these two idiots can do it. It can't be that hard. But we're just two guys that are sharing our viewpoints on stuff. And I just love the fact that you guys are commenting on it. I wish I remembered his name. There's some people that made some very nice comments that don't agree with us, but they're doing it in a way that they want to have a conversation, have a discussion.
He's been called Uncle Tom at least twice now on our TikTok.
Yeah, I've been called Uncle Tom, and those of you who know who Uncle Tom is, thank you, because that is a compliment. But if you don't know who Uncle Tom is, do your history before you call me that, because actually it's a compliment.
And then before we go, I'm going to leave you with this, because during the protests, riots, one of the things they were saying is say his name or say their name. Right. So the victims of the crimes
Right.
that went on, usually through police brutality. So when we sign off, I'm going to leave you with your leaders making sure that they say his name.
Exactly. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, I'm Cedric.
And I'm Brian. See you later.
Families of Floyd Taylor, George Taylor.
I only will do that if you tell me that this legislation is worthy of George Kirby's name. George Kirby's name. George Kirby's name.